Whenever we see evil people online, our first instinct collectively is to think, what happened to this person? Where could they go wrong? And why did they end up this way? While we don't know the reasons for that psychologically, one of the biggest reasons I can point to, and I'm sure we all can agree, is that bad parenting played some effect or role. So today we're going to be checking out the bad parenting epidemic. Because more than anything, bad parenting is one of the leading causes of everything wrong in today's world. Without further ado, let's get started.
Guys, parents are getting worse than ever, and it's not even funny. We're way beyond just iPad kids, Cocomelon, or even gentle parenting. Whether it's complaining about lifeguards saving your kid from drowning because how dare they touch your kid.
What? What are you gonna say? They didn't consent to being saved? Huh? Yo, I've never heard that in my life.
To whining about why
These be the parents that are allowed to vote in the local elections, by the way.
your kids can't go outside during an active SWAT operation, or even telling the doctor to stop diagnosing your kid since it's your kid, and how dare you tell them what's best for their kid.
Bro, fighting leukemia? Yo, you gotta, bro, nowadays I feel like in order to be a parent, you gotta get a license or something, bro. You can't just be popping out babies out of your freaking coochie anymore, bro. Because what is that? What you mean? You think if the doctor is the person who you think that the doctor giving the diagnosis means the doctor gave your kid cancer? Are you dumb?
Bad parents are evolving into narcissistic and selfish jerks more and more by the day.
Bro.
You guys voted for this topic, and subscribe and leave comments to be part of the future
Yo,
video.
that cancer thing is still frying me though. F cancer, but holy. If you have cancer and your parent is like that, you basically have cancer squared, bro. Your cancer is your mom and the cancer you're fighting. You're fighting double. These be the same motherfuckers who say, oh, do home remedies. Brother, freaking sliding a pickle in and out of your throat while drinking ginger ale and eating saltine crackers is not gonna make your leukemia go away. I'm sorry to tell you. Whatever you're listening to, freaking Dr. Bonner, Dr. Squash, whoever the hell, don't take his advice.
Anyways, I will preface that this video is not hating on the idea of parenthood or wanting kids.
Okay.
Please have kids if you are ready for them and will properly love them. Trust me, our replacement demographics are going to need it. Having said that, we're going to be diving into quite a messy topic, so let's start with the simpler things first. Chapter 1, Permissive Parenting.
Okay.
Gentle parenting doesn't mean what the internet has assigned it to.
Facts, bro. People think gentle parenting equals not parenting at all. Bro, gentle parenting means just not hitting the hell out of your kid, bro. Which you shouldn't be doing that.
Having said that, for the sake of this video, we're going to be looking at a lot of clips that still subtitle or caption it as gentle parenting. But just know there's a difference. Basically, gentle parenting still allows discipline. They just don't believe in physical discipline.
I can tell this is going to be a good video because he did a bunch of research and he's able to just like see the nuance already.
Can I tell y'all a story? I am literally afraid of my child. I honestly cannot get him to stop hurting me. Obviously, the gentle no is not working.
That's not being a gentle parent. That's just called being a freaking door handle, a doorman. I don't know what you want to call it. You're just standing there. You're not even a parent.
Couple who at restaurants people stare at and shake their heads. We don't know what we did wrong.
Shut your big mouth. I hate you.
I'm concerned our gentle parenting has backfired and perhaps our baby boomer parents were correct.
Yo, if I tried this, bro, my parents are hitting me with the craziest, like, immediately off the rip.
We already know abusive, narcissistic parenting ain't the right way to
Facts, that's not the answer either now. Don't get it messed up.
raise a child. But from what we see here, it seems like the literal exact opposite of that isn't the answer either. But
Yo, who would have thought, bro? In life, balance. Y'all ever heard of that?
why?
Permissive parenting means letting your kids walk all over you. It's exactly what it sounds like. Basically, they have a little gremlin that they always say yes to. The gremlin can throw all these tantrums and they'll never correct them.
Yeah.
And in fact, give in to them, further teaching that kid to continue being...
Bro, worst part is when you have these little ass gremlins occupying public spaces, being menaces and nuisances. Like, I should not be at work or at a freaking office seeing your little Timmy walking around doing all this stuff. And no, I'm not gonna look at Timmy like the weirdo because it's you who's the problem. Like Uncle Sam, you know that picture? He's like, it's you. The hell? And then these moms have the nerve to look at me like, your kid's not cute, bro. He's a menace. He's bothering everybody with his existence right now. Fix him.
little gremlin. So now that I've explained that, that sounds a lot like what most people accidentally call gentle parenting. That's what permissive parenting is.
There is a reason why gentle parenting gets such a bad rep, and it's because that majority of people are under the impression that gentle parenting means that we just let our children run amok and do whatever the fuck they want, and we just sit back and say, yeah, your feelings are valid and you're safe and it's okay. Gentle parenting just means that we're not hitting them.
Proper gentle parenting is easily the best approach, and unless there's something out there otherwise I don't know of, maybe, I don't know.
Kids do not think like adults, hence why trying to assume they already grasp adult concepts like responsibility, restraint, or empathy is stupid. You have to teach those concepts. That's the job of being a parent, to teach them and ease them into the world.
This is like the people who like hit their cat or like spray them or something, thinking that like it's gonna teach them. Dude, you gotta understand that the brain does not work the same way as an adult.
I have colleagues who used to be elementary school teachers, and they have to go through this program that reteaches their adult brain to remember what it's like to think like a kid in order to better communicate with kids. And it's really difficult. Like, having said that, my heart absolutely goes out to all the teachers who have to deal with awful parents who basically treat schools like daycares. Y'all are already so overworked and underpaid, and now you gotta deal with the worst generation of illiterate goblin incarnations whose parents did nothing to teach them how to behave in society.
You gotta deal with the parents and their mistakes. And I'm not saying the kids are a mistake. I'm saying that they made a mistake, not by having the kids, but by teaching the kids bad habits. So now not only are you dealing with a kid that's already, you got to teach them stuff because it's daycare and the parents aren't teaching them. They're teaching them harmful stuff, which is making it double worse. And then these parents will have the nerve to come into school and cause a ruckus and cause mayhem in the class's office. Like, I know damn well some of these parents come into like parent-teacher conferences and meetings and stuff like, why is my son being taught this, and that? Like, acting as if they're doing any better. I don't know.
Society.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Did you say that my daughter is rude?
Yeah, I did.
Why you say it like it was a slur, buddy? Like, bro, being rude is, if she was rude, she was rude.
She gave me the finger.
Well, I wouldn't have done that if he wasn't being a slow asshole.
Are you serious? Whether she gave you the finger or not, then maybe you should have gotten out of her way.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I'm kind of slow.
Yo, we got Karen 1 and Karen 2, bro. Karen Jr. What do you even call these? Carols?
So instead of telling Amelia, no, you don't treat people that way,
bro,
she goes after the older man who's in a motorized cart.
Yeah,
thankfully,
bro.
it's not all parents, so for a brief palate cleanser, let's look at some good parenting because Lord knows we're gonna need it as this video progresses.
With your PlayStation 5, how you picked my cat up and slammed it on the ground.
Oh my God.
Multiple times.
Yo, what? How do you even do such a thing?
Do it. Now pick
No, man, I could have took that, bro. GTA 6 is dropping. Yo, I need a PS5, bro. Come on. Yo, she could have accomplished this mission by donating it or something, bro. Giving it to a kid in need and then make him watch. But realistically, though, if your kid is doing this type of crazy stuff to a cat, he has psychological issues that he needs to be checked out by a freaking doctor immediately. I don't think that destroying a PS5 is going to do nothing.
it up and do it again. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me move this for you, baby, so you know it's real. I want you to raise it up on your tiptoes and slam that as hard as you can like you did my mother.
Yo, bro's devastated. No more Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Cat.
It's okay.
Pick it up and do
Damn.
that again.
That's kind of sturdy.
Parenting, W mom. I don't give a crap what the comments are saying. This kid threw a living animal like a piece of trash just because he was a little angry and he couldn't control his emotions.
Definitely bad, but I don't know if breaking the PS5 is technically the answer on paper. Like, if we're gonna be actually like PC, obviously she should punish him and she should not punish him with physical punishment, but maybe taking away the PS5 or selling it would be the proper move because you're technically wasting resources that is kind of expensive. And then also, I think he has some psychological issues probably need to be addressed.
By the way, the mom bought the PS5. She's allowed to dictate what happens to it. It's an object at the end of the day. You should never physically discipline them by actually hitting them or abusing them, but making them break something they love and value will get the point across.
Fair.
Make grounding and this type of discipline normalized again.
Yeah.
Discipline doesn't mean literally hitting your kid like most parents keep freaking out over. You can do adjacent behaviors that absolutely still get the message.
Yo, do y'all think that like physical punishment, like making your kid exercise or something, counts as physical punishment? Because like there's a lot of people that I know that they had to do, I don't know if this is like an African thing at all, but a lot of my African friends, they told me that like they would have to like sit on the wall, like, you know, that like squat position that like burns your quads a bit because you're like activating them or whatever. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. Those type of punishments, are they considered like not gentle or are they considered gentle? I don't know. Because a lot of these kids, a lot of people who do that, like they'll be on the verge of tears and stuff. So I feel like effectively doing the same thing and it still hurts. So
this kid values his PS5, but he failed to acknowledge the value of a living cat. So the best way to make him draw a parallel is to take something he values and have him destroy it to make him realize, oh, okay, I must have done something really bad.
Yeah.
I get it. And it's better he learns this now. Like, this is something he will remember, and some people were commenting that this is a core memory that will probably help him develop into a better human later on in life, because We see what happens if people don't learn to value the life of living animals or even other living people if they're never taught that value. Chapter 2.
And a lot of times you're not gonna get that lucky, bro. You're gonna get punched in the mouth, punched in the nose, get put in the ER. Some of these people in these videos, clips here, they're getting off real lucky.
The results and societal consequences of permissive parenting.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, bro. Huh?
If you don't gradually introduce them how
Was that Japan, bro?
dangerous the real world is, they're gonna think they're invincible. A parent who fails to discipline their kid in any way, verbally with words, spatially by just grounding them, or objectively by just showing them demonstrations like the one above. It doesn't have to be physical discipline. There are so many other kinds. But if you—
Oh, okay. I think that was like a demonstration. Okay, so it wasn't a real person getting hit. It was just showing the kids the consequences of if you do walk in the road like that. Definitely seems a little bit like disturbing in practice or whatever, but if it's kind of effective.
You never ever get in the way of anything they want in life, you will raise a kid who thinks they're an invincible main character.
Yes.
And that's why we have all these copy-paste broccoli-haired Jack Dohertys.
I was gonna say, that's why we have Jack Doherty. Say him by name, please.
Running around because they had permissive parents who never, ever, ever disciplined their kid. Or even worse, whenever their kid wanted something from another kid, they would argue against the other parent to make their kid concede that item.
And you're sitting next to me and my family, and your kids are playing with other toys. My kids are instructed to go over there and grab toys so they could play as well. They do not need to ask for permission.
And that is so—
You know what I also think? A lot of these kids, more than just being not disciplined, their parents actually suck up to them in a way where they're not even taught basic morality. They don't even teach them like, yo, you're wrong for doing this and thinking everything's about you. This world is not about you. They're gonna tell them, yo, Johnny, you know what? They should have let you blow out their candle even though it's their birthday. They should have did this to you because you're you. You're special. You're my little son. And they teach them that they are the main character and actually just don't acknowledge that they have any flaws or their mistakes, you know? Sometimes you'll see like these cases where kids become adults or whatever, and then the parent still sucks up to them. It's like, oh, my son could never do this. And bro, your son is a freaking gangster, killer, King Von level demon threat.
Disgusting because it makes their little gremlin really narcissistic. Like, I can throw a tantrum and make the world bend around me. Everything's meant to be played with by me. It's a giant sandbox. This isn't like even hyperbole. They grow up to become like this. We have multiple examples of people like this loser prankster or mini loser pranksters. But we'll take a look at this one first. We'll take it bit by bit throughout this video.
He did quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
He did quit thinking about my twinkle.
Bro.
Stop.
The context of this, I'm pretty sure he got shot right after this, and a lot of people say he deserved it. Regardless, just harassing people for content, if that's what you do for views, go ahead and clock into the Taco Bell and start scrubbing the skid mark in the seats, bro. Please. Please.
This is food delivery.
So this prankster, he ended up getting the face of this guy, and this guy acted in self-defense because he's outnumbered, he's scared, he has a camera in his face, and this is something parents need to realize. If you neglect—
My boy was running DoorDash with a strap in his pocket. Yo, I respect it.
to discipline your child, society will do it tenfold. And society doesn't have the guide rails that parenthood has, meaning that it was your job to make sure that these kids understood the proper danger of things they can't control. These are things that must be taught to them. Harassing people in public is behavior, and I hate that there's a whole genre of this on TikTok.
Yeah, bro. The fact that that's a hot take nowadays is crazy.
For instance, all these losers who somehow have the time to gather in like groups of 20 to raid local businesses and mess with hardworking employees.
Go ahead and—
Yo, two things can be true at one time. In my opinion, this is like a lame form of content. You're bothering the workers. And if I was a worker here, I'd be pissed. I used to work in a restaurant, like fast casual, exactly like a situation like this, pretty much. And this would definitely bother me and take time out of my day. But also seeing this on camera, I could definitely laugh at this and be like, yo, what the hell are they doing? He pulled up with an army of his coworkers. Like, how do you have the time for this? So it could be funny, but also problematic at the same time.
the guys. Call the police. What is going on? No,
you guys need to leave.
You guys are not gonna
Bro.
These are my workers. No, these are my workers. These are my workers.
Like, if you're gonna do this, okay, at the very least, you're gonna say it's a harmless prank, whatever. Just get it done, get your video, bro, 20 seconds, bro, get out, bro. Don't ruin their days, please.
This is the TikTok guy, actually. His name is... This is his TikTok.
Oh, he's
the
cooked.
TikTok account at Terra Clout is owned by 24-year-old Heston James Cobb. On both TikTok and Instagram, Heston gained a following by pranking employees at recognizable—
Wait, what does he get charged with, bro? Bringing a gang of thugs into Chipotle? Like, attempting to work a job? Is that like a charge?
stores,
Or
including Target, Michaels,
9,
People
damn.
who are already stressed enough in this economy who now have to deal with all this prankster BS while also even double taking at the chicken they're buying at the grocery store.
This is freaking crazy. This is not even nearly the same level of the last thing. This is absolutely disgusting. You should get put in jail immediately for this.
If it's been poisoned by some clout.
You tamper with other people's foods and stuff in the freaking grocery stores. I think I've seen people do the ice cream lick challenge. These people are disgraces. I don't know why they were even born, bro.
Goblin.
Smith is now facing multiple charges, including a felony for messing with produce at a Walmart.
What is the charge for this? Attempted murder?
Walmart in Mesa Thursday. Court docs say Smith stole from the same store, then sprayed it all over fruits, vegetables, and rotisserie chickens as part of a prank.
Prank. I tried killing people in the hood, gone wrong, gone sexual, gone violent. What is the prank, bro? You're just like trying to get people sick and die.
And it's not like she didn't know. She even had that clip in there where she's like, it's all right, I can just abort the child, not gonna hurt me.
Context, please?
Evil mindset. Like, what? She couldn't stop herself from smoking and drinking while pregnant. She did have the child, and this September he will be 3 years old.
That's so lame, bro.
He still cannot walk or talk, and it seems like also...
Yo, is this not already like child abuse before they're even born? Genuinely?
Has a hard time just sitting up on his own without assistance supporting him. It is heartbreaking. It is actually heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I don't...
I think this does not get talked about nearly enough.
Know why what she's done isn't just full-blown child abuse. Like, I don't know how that's not just a crime. Like, it's all just right out there in the open. Like, it's not a secret. People extremely close to her have just...
Like, you effectively, to an extent, ruined that kid's life and also ruined his chance of having a, quote, normal, able-bodied livelihood. And I know for sure, if I was that person and I was in that situation and I realized this is what my mom did by the time I grew up, I would definitely resent her, hate her, everything.
Blank said that she has smoked and drank throughout her pregnancy. They've said it a couple of times. It's just so unhinged. And now, where she's
How is she still, like, in the spotlight to an extent? Like, how is she still relevant, bro?
Now denying that her child has a disability and says that, you know, the doctors are wrong, the doctors don't know. Which, to me, says that she's not even willing to get this child the assistance that he is likely going to need.
That's just messed up even more, bro. That's more negligence and abuse, exactly as he's saying. And then you tell the doctors they don't know. What are you supposed to be, smarter than a doctor? Are you serious? Yo, what type of ego, narcissistic? I don't even know.
He's developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth.
Why are you reading a script to say that, bro? Okay.
Every kid deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a kid. And that has never been more apparent than ever, because there are a lot of parents who just completely treat their kids like property.
Yep.
I despise parents who don't let others criticize their parenting habits because it's my kid, so I tell them what to do, not you. Because
to an extent, there's probably a balance. Like, there are probably people who over-police moms in particular and then just let dads go with whatever as long as they're present into life. They're like, yo, way to go, dad, you know, because dad sometimes be dipping out of the child's life. Kind of a double standard, right? So there are people who over-police the mom and be like, not like that, mama. Actually, you do this and it's really not that deep. But also stuff like this, dude, it is definitely that deep.
That treats your kid like a non-living object instead of the autonomous human being they are.
Right.
He's gonna have a kid. We're gonna raise it in Vietnam for the first 4 years.
What? He won't be there?
Neither of us will.
What?
Huh?
What?
He's not a man. Yo, what? Are you treating him like a freaking anime character, bro?
We threw him in the woods of Vietnam and told him to force his way out. And if he found us again, we would claim him as our son, the rightful owner.
Bro, he's not freaking Thorfinn.
What? You won't be in the kid's life for the first 4 years?
They're not gonna remember. They're not gonna remember. But listen, Caleb, you know his family's gonna raise it, you know, in Vietnam. It. So we can send it to school.
You do not love your child like a human. These people treat their children like an accessory, an object. You don't see him as an actual human. You don't.
Kid's gonna miss his grandparents, her grandparents. A
They
little
can
baby that
visit.
doesn't have memories still cries for their mother.
Okay, but get over it.
And you realize how disgusting this phrase is from this horrendous mother.
Bro.
Oh, it's my.
She's talking about her baby like it's a business transaction. Exactly. Just get a dog or a cat. And even then, dude, if you get a dog or a cat and you decide to just put it in a random freaking shack for 4 years in Vietnam, you're considered a weirdo too.
Kid, you can't tell me what to do with my kid. It's mine. You're the child's mother, but the child is still a child.
Yep.
Someday they will grow up to be an adult, and their life will be their own. There's a whole arc of this in My Hero Academia where literally the main character, Deku, tells someone he's going up against in a tournament, it's not your father's power, it's yours. In some dire cases,
My Hero Academia being used in a bad parenting epidemic video essay, actually crazy.
Teachers absolutely can tell a
but it made sense.
Parent what to do with their children, especially if what the parent is doing is neglecting the child. Even more so if it's not a random stranger, but a licensed doctor looking for the developmental health of the child.
My mom was the type of mom who might ignore all your medical issues until it was too late, and it was disgusting. Like, that happened to me a lot growing up. So
they said that if Jezreel doesn't start chemotherapy, that he has a chance that he will definitely pass away. And I said it very loud and clear, I'm not starting chemotherapy.
I don't understand.
So, do you hate your kid that bad, bro? You want him to die? Is that what it is? What could you possibly have as a logical explanation for hearing, if you don't do this, your kid will die, and your response is,
no, actually, we're gonna do my method because I'm smarter.
And people who take their children to the doctor and then don't want to listen to that doctor. This woman's son is fighting leukemia, and she is in a war with CPS because she refuses to allow her son to get the chemo.
This should be abuse just based on neglect alone.
Treatment needed. Keep in mind, this chemo treatment, this regimen of chemo, has been around for decades and is so incredibly successful that it has lowered the death rate of leukemia by so much. And if a doctor...
She gonna say that's made up stats, bro.
...is telling you your son is going to die if you don't do this and you don't listen, I understand wanting to go a more natural or less toxic route, but the moment your child...
Bro, that might be the case if you're fighting a freaking regular common cold, buddy. Like, our parents didn't take us to the freaking ER for no damn common cold, no cough symptoms, and sometimes like sore throats and all that type of stuff. Bro, you're drinking a ginger ale, you're sipping a Gatorade and some saltine crackers and calling it a day and just sleeping and recover. But this is freaking cancer, bro. You're not allowed to just freaking eat bananas and hope your cancer goes away by prayer.
Life is in question. Is the moment you need to listen to the doctor.
A lifeguard was thrown in jail after saving a drowning 5-year-old boy, all because the child's parents called the police. 23-year-old Zachary Stein.
Are we serious, bro? Like, this was not even a joke? I thought in the beginning of the video this is some type of troll, some type of elaborate clickbait. No.
Stein worked as a lifeguard at a water park. Without hesitation, he jumped into the pool, pulled Adam out, and performed emergency CPR, successfully reviving him.
Bro thought he was a hero. You ain't no damn hero. You're a villain. You're a murderer. You're damn near on the same level as a killer. You should be in jail for the rest of your life for saving a kid. That's the craziest crime I've ever heard. Like, what were they thinking, bro? How do you get arrested for this?
But just as people began praising Stein as a hero, Adam's parents arrived. Instead of thanking him, they called the police. Officers soon showed up and arrested Stein on charges of endangering a child.
Wait, okay, what's like, wait, is there more context that we don't know?
I'm gonna dial myself back. Sorry for sounding so heated.
No. I refuse to believe that the U.S. prison justice system, police force is that incompetent, okay? There's gotta be more context that we don't know. Because how did he endanger a child?
Earlier, but like, this is why I've been avoiding making this video topic, by the way. It's something I can't not get heated. This is my third try and record this video. Anyways, imagine your kid starts drowning and this mother gets the audacity at the people saving them because it's her child.
No. There's gotta be more context.
Into the beach.
I understand, but when you're questioning why somebody else is holding your daughter, that means that you should have been there to
But
be holding your
literally, we
daughter.
were all paying attention to it. Like, I was literally just leaving
Well, how
right
can
now.
everybody be paying attention if an honest citizen that don't even know
What is
you...
going on right now?
just-
Like,
Yo, shut up and listen, lady. God damn.
I don't understand what's going on. We were literally leaving right now.
In the beach.
With a 5-year-old brother, right?
What is going on?
Okay, you left your daughter in the beach with a sibling that's 5 years old alone.
Literally watching them.
And she was drowning.
Yo, why lie at this point, bro? Like, you can't lie your way out of this, bro. People caught you. They saw you. Your kid was found by somebody else. You should be thankful that they're not in the freaking ocean swimming with the sharks and going through rip currents right now. What are you talking about, bro? You thought it was a better idea to freaking sit and tan in the sun and probably talk to dudes on the beach and whatever with your freaking Chanel bra on, didn't watch your freaking kids, bro. Be honest about it.
Someone had to take her out of the water because she almost drowned and died. Do you understand that?
Maybe you should stop day drinking and supervise your freaking children. All these police body cam footage these days show off some of the most neglectful parents out there, and it has my heart aching for the future of our youth. I hate that she yells, "It's my kids, it's my kids, they're my kids." In this case, the lifeguards and police are doing their job.
They're your kids, but they're a human being and a person. They talk about them like they're a pair of shoes, bro. You didn't leave your shoes out there and it's illegal. No, it's a person. It's not just your kids. It's not your item. They're a human being, a life form that you are responsible to, bro. Deadass before a parent has a kid, they should need to take some type of classes or have some type of license. Otherwise, the moment that kid gets spawned in, I don't know, they got to get cared for by the grandma or something.
In rescuing their kids from drowning in the water. I get that you can't have eyes 24/7 on your kid, and I get that accidents happen, so don't feel ashamed if a
Then admit that it's an accident, bro.
Lifeguard is to save your own kids someday. Just don't yell at the lifeguard after they've done their job. And even worse, don't be day drinking at a bar several thousand feet away from the scene of the incident.
And so when her friend was stumbling drunk, these are her friend's shoes. She took us to the bathroom because she's throwing up, you know? So I don't want you to think that she wasn't just not being a mom.
The bartender comes out and tries defending her, saying she's not being a bad parent. I was watching her this whole time. She was actually busy helping a friend vomit in the restroom from all the day drinking. And bro.
So you're grown woman, grown adult, prehistoric age, grown ass friend is drunk as hell, and you think, I'm gonna attend to my friend who's probably 30 years old, just like me, throwing up instead of my 5- and 4-year-old kids on the beach that could get randomly snatched up by anybody, including the sharks. All right, bro. Amazing judgment. Beautiful. We gotta put this person on freaking X Factor or something, bro.
Bro, hard disagree. Can we stop permissive parenting the permissive parents? The stakes could not be any higher. Her daughter almost drowned.
Yeah, bro. The hell? Are we in the air shooting bombs right now? Am I in Afghanistan, bro?
If you don't know what helicopter
Vietnam
parenting is, it means constantly surveilling your kid and controlling major aspects of their life, like what they do after school, who they can hang out with, and not even buying them any form of autonomy, whether that's a skateboard, a bicycle, a scooter, and especially a car or motorcycle, regardless of age. There are some parents that don't want to give up control of their kid's life forever, even as their kid moves into early adulthood. Helicopter parenting has gotten...
At that point, you're raising a dependent, terrible partner, terrible spouse, terrible potential parent, unreliable human being, and incredibly dependent human being as a whole, bro. You're not developing an adult. You're developing somebody who needs something else or someone else as a crutch to survive.
So bad that there are moms who let their 11-year-old boy walk a few blocks outside on his own. This is not the bad mother in this instance. It's the Karen who called police on this mom and this kid.
They have now released body cam footage of the moment that a mother was arrested for letting her 10-year-old son walk less than a mile into town.
Turn around for me.
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
For what?
For the incident we talked about earlier today.
On October 30th, Brittany Patterson...
How does this work? Okay, so if you let your kid, probably under a certain age, go somewhere, blah, 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 they could get arrested. More of an, I guess, an issue with the Karen. This might also be an issue with the law, too. I don't know. Like, when we were younger, we all used to go into freaking walk around, go to school, walk to school sometimes. Was it the safest option in hindsight? Probably not, but...
took one of her sons to a doctor's appointment while her 10-year-old son, Soren, decided to walk into town from their home in Georgia.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I recklessly endangering my child?
We're not talking about it.
They're not even gonna give an explanation? All right, bro.
She was out, she got a call from police saying that her son was walking outside alone, but she says she wasn't concerned because she grew up walking outside and exploring on her own, and she was raising her children the same way. Patterson was arrested.
There's obviously like a extent to it. Like, you can't just let your kid just walk around for freaking days outside and then come back and he's like, oh, he was like exploring the woods, you know, like an outdoor cat or something, right? But there should be a certain threshold where a kid should be able to walk within a certain radius and it's okay.
Booked on,
especially at this age. It's not like he's freaking 5. I mean, he still is young. So I could see the potential danger as well. I think this is more of like a nuanced conversation.
Reckless conduct where they say she willingly and knowingly endangered the welfare of her son and she could face up to a year in prison.
By the law, I guess that's technically true. But again, I think this law is just like needs a little bit of reformation if it's that black and white.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
It is when they were 10 years old. No, it's not. I rode a bike all the time at 10. Okay, so who lies? Is it the guy making the video who lied, or is it the police officer who lied right now?
It is?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see that on the books.
Okay, well, you'll see it on your warrant.
And the police show up to arrest her. By the way, 11-year-old boy. He's not like 5 or 6 years old.
That is also true. Like, bro, the thing that's also true, you could spend this precious time catching criminals, bro. There are people like EDP walking around on this earth right now, bro. As a matter of fact, he just dropped a 2-hour-long freaking documentary, bro. The most disgusting piece of media I've ever consumed with my 2 eyes, okay? And rather than trying to find predators and weirdos like this, you are prosecuting a mom for letting her kid walk into town, bro. Are we dead ass? Yo, you just trying to meet some type of quota, too.
These Karens are the same MFs who probably complain about their own kids always being on their phones and never playing outside. Yet whenever they see other kids play outside, they call the police for a noise complaint or call other mothers irresponsible for letting their kid go way too far from their supervision.
That Karen is probably way too much of an overprotective parent, to the point where if the police saw what she was doing in-house, they might arrest her too.
Complete hypocrites. To further prove my point, right? Cross-country and track clubs are a thing. A lot of kids don't do it on the field at school all the time. Sometimes there's something going on where the field's under maintenance. So kids will actually run miles away from their home. Like, I know people used to do 2-mile loops, even 3-mile loops. So 1.5.
I guess it depends on the age. I mean, I knew that too, but it was more like a high school thing, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, rather than like 10.
Half miles away from their home and then 1.5 miles back. They're like in 7th or 8th grade. That's not a horrendous thing to be doing.
Yeah.
That's more than old enough to see the world outside of their house in their immediate vicinity. Like, I get supervising your kids on the beach when they're still toddlers, like in the previous chapter, but by the time they're preteens, you should still supervise them, but you don't have to helicopter parent.
Yeah, like there's some risks involved, but this shouldn't be like a punishable... This shouldn't be a crime punishable by arrest, in my opinion.
Or even helicopter parent other parents' kids, because they might be part of some after-school club where they have to partake in these activities.
And if that's the case, then you gotta arrest everybody in the school club, everybody in the after-school club, all the parents involved in that, the whole school staff, the whole school guys get shut down because it's illegal, you know? They're perpetuating illegal laws and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
What the hell? You say hard? Remember your cousin in China?
Tiger parenting. Oh my god, this is the extreme, like, terrible end. The terrible end of the stick.
Who, Timmy? He got 15 years work experience. He's 9. How's that even possible?
Now moving on from physical neglect, another really long-lasting type of parental negligence is emotional neglect. This does follow children deep into adulthood, and sometimes they never get over it.
Yeah.
Being Asian, you already know most of this chapter is going to be dedicated to the toxic culture our parents raised us in.
Hey, bro, this is perfect because I am half Asian, okay? I can speak on this as well.
Memes aside, Asian parents are way too obsessed with grades, and they deduce their child's entire worth with GPA.
Yep.
I know this can happen with parents of any background.
It could be GPA, it could be like success when it comes to instruments, just excelling in something that you can like kind of use as a flex for smartness in a way, I guess, if that's how you explain it, but definitely lacking in the whole like emotional category of a relationship with their child.
But it's definitely worth talking about in Asia because it's the worst there. We have stats to back it up. Let's not turn this into a competition. Trust me, you don't want to be number one.
Japan, okay, we're not number one yet, but we are 1, 2, 3, top 4. Let's go. Or you know what? Not let's go, obviously, right?
At this.
Do you remember what your high school schedule was like? Let's compare it to the average Korean student. They wake up at 6:30 a.m., get to school by 7:30. They go to school till about 4 p.m. Then they rush home for a quick bite and then have private lessons from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at what they call a hagwon, which is like a tutoring, like a after-school program. Then they go back to school, do a study session until about 11 p.m. And then when you go home, you have to study till around 2 a.m. and then wake up at 6:30 a.m. to do it all over again. It is very common in South Korea for students to spend on average 16 hours a day studying. 16. That leaves 8 hours to shower, eat, rest, sleep, socialize, and even just transportation to get from one place to another. That takes a lot of time. Korean parents spent nearly $18 billion on tutoring and specialized entrance exam classes in 1 year. $18 billion.
In 1979, 6% of Korean students attended Hagwons. By 2008, it was 75%. So in 2009, Seoul tried a 10 p.m. curfew. Hagwons.
Funny enough, a lot of people watching the video might not understand why this is happening. And I'll give you a second to guess, okay? Now, the reason why this is the case isn't because necessarily the parents, partially because obviously the parents are practicing bad habits, all this, but funny enough, it's actually more of an economical issue. And the reason being in, at least in Korea, is the economy is freaking a monopoly held by Samsung is what I've heard, right? And in order to get into like some of these, in order to get like a good job or whatever, you have to go to a good university because there's only like a good couple universities that are really respectable and you'll get hired from. So in order to get into those, you got to be an extremely like high performing student. So it's all like an economical thing at the end of the day.
Sure, these countries perform at the top for academics, but guess what else they're at the top for? Yep, highest rate of murking themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, also lowest replacement.
But at least they got high GPAs though, right? I guess, bro. I think the best way to conclude the video is to say that there should be a balance on the spectrum. Okay, there is doing nothing and then there's doing too much. Okay, tiger parenting and then permissive parenting, right? As he stated, somewhere in the middle is the best spot. You should not be doing physical punishment and you should not be overly helicoptering them. You should let kids make mistakes, give them grace for their mistakes, punish them for certain mistakes, but also teach them why they shouldn't make certain mistakes. That way they don't just keep repeating it over and over, because as a former child, as we all were, right? A lot of the most frustrating times of when I got punished, besides like physical punishment, right? That stuff like really sucks, especially if it's really bad or whatever, is when I get punished and I'm being told something and I'm like, why is this the case? Because I don't understand. Simply, I'm being told I'm disrespectful for talking back and don't question my authority because I'm your parent and I'm older than you, so you have to listen to me like a little boy. And while, yes, I should respect my parents, it's not disrespectful to ask for clarity and want to know why I'm making a mistake. That way I don't make the same mistake again and not left frustrated and feel like my parent is not a good, emotional, reliable human being. Either way, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join Discord, link in the description. Let me know what you want to check out next on the channel. With that being said, it's Love You All. I love you, and I'm out.